this week's movie is Top Gun Maverick,
Yes.
which is the second installment that came out relatively recently to the 1980s original.
Dude, Scientology is treating Tom Cruise right. He
He's looking
looks
good.
good.
Looks good. Looking
dude.
good.
Yeah. He's
Like,
almost my dad's age.
Dude, compare him to a freaking Val Kilmer in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, then the AI his voice. Maybe you had this. Maybe you had this in your stats.
I did.
I'll let you go for it. I'll let
Yeah.
you get your
did.
synopsis.
Yeah. Hey, pop off, King.
Hey, so as Dave alluded, Top Gun Maverick, sequel to the original movie, Top Gun, came out in 1986.
Okay.
This is 36 years later in our time. In the movie time, it was 30 years later.
Okay.
So directed by Joseph Kosinski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kosinski.
Kosinski. Yeah. Also director of Tron Legacy, Oblivion, and the upcoming F1 with Brad Pitt. Have you guys seen the commercials for those?
Those
Is
are
that
the two movies you mentioned.
Formula
Who
movie?
cares?
Looks
F1.
awesome.
F1 looks dope.
It looks
Is that a
sick.
Formula One movie or what is that about?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
pronounced Formula.
Italian.
Yeah, it looks awesome. But 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Maverick does.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes.
1.5 billion globally in the box office.
Yeah.
It was Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie ever,
Oh yeah.
which is saying a lot because Tom Cruise is a movie star of all movie
It
stars.
was a sick sequel, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just the nostalgia
I was gonna say-
alone is going to get you $1 billion.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. The movie could be terrible. It's going to earn that much money. in
Dude,
the box
Mike
office.
McEntee in our first house got back when they would do like built-in surround sound, like you wire it into your house. And the first movie he made us watch, well, I had seen Top Gun before,
Yeah.
but he was like, "We have to watch Top Gun."
Yeah.
And the plane like, he's like, "You hear that? You hear that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he just loved watching.
Yeah.
He would make people watch Top Gun
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he could show them his
Show off the
speaker
speakers.
system. Yeah.
I'm glad
That's
you
fair.
mentioned that. So this one won the Academy Award for Best Sound.
Okay.
And normally when you get the Academy Award for like Best Editing or whatever, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Best Sound in this, like,
Yeah.
you're like, all right,
Deserved.
like, who else was competing against that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, they just ran away from
It's
it.
so American though, because it's just like, was stuff going really fast and was it really loud? Yeah, we
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
Yes. And what even made like the folklore of this movie even better was like, it started filming in 2018. It was supposed to release during COVID, like the year of COVID 2020, but it actually sent it back.
I
It set it
kind of
back.
remember that.
So it set it back like almost 2 years. It's like 700 and something days
Wow.
that it set back to release. And Tom Cruise was adamant about, we're
Not
not going to release
sure.
this
Streaming.
There's no way. But
Was this the movie he was like paying people out of his own pocket to be on lot and work?
Yeah, and he also, I think this was the one where he went off on somebody too.
Yeah.
But it was because like, hey, like if like we have one outbreak or whatever, like this film is done. Like, but or maybe that was Mission Impossible. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
I don't like Tom Cruise as a human, but he looks good and he's a good actor.
I do, man. He's awesome.
As an
You like him
actor,
as a human?
Yeah, I think I do.
I don't really know about him as a human. I just
I
know
think he's
as
done
an,
with the Scientology stuff.
as an
so.
actor, he's he's great.
He's-
He's an
yeah,
all timer.
he's super salty.
Like somebody
Yeah.
said, he's this. Like somebody said that earlier. He's a movie star. Movie stars.
Yeah,
That's true. I don't.
Yeah, that
there's
is
very few people who are more
yeah.
famous
So-
as far as stars.
So that's it for the stats and stuff. The rest are just my opinions. But I would say that
Let's
like
get those opinions out here, dude.
I love this movie. It's one of those movies that like sequels come out and you're like, oh, okay, you'll watch it, whatever. Far exceeded my expectations. Like second to none. Opening scene. If the opening scene of this movie doesn't get you jacked, dude. I mean, they're taking off on the aircraft carrier. Like, dudes are doing fist bumps and stuff, and like they're like. Dude, I'm like getting in my bed,
Yeah.
with like Cheeto dust on my chest, like let's go,
Let's go. Get high. Work.
yeah,
America.
loving it.
I read that they AI generated Val Kilmer's voice.
Yes,
'Cause he has cancer in his throat, or
he's passed.
oh, is he? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he's passed.
Please
since
show
then.
some respect.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Honor him,
But
please.
yeah, they didn't have he didn't talk in that movie. He types most of it out right when he's talking,
The
and then he
end,
does
yeah.
like say a few
Yeah.
words, but not a whole bunch.
It's so cool how they put his character in while he was undergoing illnesses or
Sure.
that was awesome.
Wrote it
Yeah,
in.
no,
They
it was
wove
great.
it in. Actually, I'm so glad he was able to
Yes,
be a part
me
of
too.
it.
It did make it much
'Cause-
better.
So that being said, you hadn't seen the first one at all, right? Or
I
you?
did watch the first one.
You did?
Yep, I did. I had to. I was like, it was free I have on
Okay.
Amazon
It makes
Prime.
it so much better.
On Amazon Prime,
Okay.
I searched Maverick.
Yeah.
Maverick was free for me, and so was the original one. I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
free. I'm gonna watch it
'Cause I was
it's not that
wondering-
long either. It's only like an
Well,
hour.
plus now you got all the callbacks.
I was wondering about that because I was like, man, like they made it to where you could watch it without it.
Yeah.
You know, they weave in like you pick up like
Mhm.
the dad and you
Yeah.
know and all that. But yeah, I was like, man, I wonder if Dave's gonna be like, all right, why does he care about this guy so
Yeah,
much?
I think they did. I agree with you. They did a good job of making it so you didn't have to watch it, but watching the first one definitely makes it better.
So this is the second movie that you've seen before you were born now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Godfather, The Predator.
Oh, okay.
I
we'll take
mean, it's a
Godfather.
couple.
So what do you think of the first one?
The first one, dude. The more, you know what? The more and more I watch these movies from the '80s,
Yeah.
the more and more I'm with you, Matt.
It's
That
tough.
these old movies, they do not hold up to me. Watching it for the first time,
Acting style or what?
that's the big. It's not the movie itself. It is the style.
Yeah.
I just do not like. It is the music. Talked about the music before. The music of the '80s, like it's just like it takes you.
Unnecessary.
It's not necessary. It takes you out of it. To me, it's like, and it's like, okay, dude, like I don't need any of that music. The
Yeah.
acting is corny. It's cheesy. And again, it's not their fault. That was the style. That's perfectly fine. It just for me, it takes me out of it takes me out of it. And these older movies just don't do it for me. And I think the only reason they do it for other people is because of exactly what you said. Because it's nostalgia. Because you watched it at a certain time when that style was in, and so that doesn't bother you now.
But I also think even if it was before when you were born, so like let's take like what is it, like the White Christmas or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You know, those are also nostalgic to people because people will come in and probably mention those or whatever because their grandma or something, they watched them with their grandma when they were a kid or whatever, right?
Yep.
But I still think that if you go back and watch anything as an adult that you'd never seen as a kid, it's really hard for you to think that movie's good. Like
It's an
an
obstacle.
all-time great. Like it's hard. It's hard. I don't think that's possible. And I know you took the L on that take a lot, but you know.
I don't know if anybody would say it's an all-time great. Coming into it, if I showed you a movie Cold from the 1985, whatever, never seen it, never heard about it, here's a movie for the first time, I don't think there's anybody that's going to be like, that's the best movie ever. I just think it's tough. I think it's very tough to get over some of these hurdles, these stylistic hurdles and changes.
Yeah.
What is the best movie ever?
Most people say it's The Godfather.
Top Gun Maverick.
Standard.
Most people say it's The Godfather.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know that. I love that answer, but I didn't know.
I think
Because that's also very subjective.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying like it's a popularity contest, obviously. But
Yeah.
if you polled 1,000 people, I think you'd get the most answer you'd get would be The Godfather.
I'll tell you what, if you polled a bunch of all the rappers on MTV Cribs back in the day,
Yeah.
it was between The Godfather and Scarface.
Yeah.
They used to like point out like got The Godfather right, and they're
Yeah.
like stack of DVDs. I used to love that.
I watched Scarface when I was on that kick. I watched all those movies. That was on your
Yeah.
list. I watched it because I know it's like Say Hello to My Little Friend.
Yeah.
That movie sucks. I hate
Yeah,
that
it's not-
movie.
it's-
I hate it. No, it's terrible.
I like it, but it's a nostalgia
Like
piece.
it's so like his acting is goofy. Like it's over the top. His accent is annoying.
Tony Montana.
He's a terrible human being. Like there's no
Yeah, he's
no
a
good
drug
guys.
lord.
It's just like it's awful. That movie stinks. It's not good. But anyway, I digress. The original Top Gun, one of the things that pointed out to me is they are always sweaty.
Yes.
Why are they sweating?
I think everybody in the 80s in any type of
Hella
military-
hot in the cockpit, bro.
No, I'm glad you brought this up.
But like I'm like, dude, they're sweating at all times, and you're like, it's like visibly
Yes.
dripping on their face.
They're in San Diego.
yes. No. But if you go back
I don't know, man.
any 80s movie that was about anything military related, they're all sweat. There's like, what is it? The Hunt for October.
Red
whatever it's
October?
called. Red October. They're in the submarine. They're sweating their asses off. I'm like, that thing's nuclear powered, man. You guys should have AC in
It's
there. You're
hot
fine.
in the tube, brother.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
I bet it was hot. I'm not saying that, but like,
But you're so
I think
right.
it was over the
They
top.
sweat that
I think
whole
they
movie.
like before they clicked the clicker and took the take, they came in with a spray bottle and just like freaking sprayed every single person in the
They brought in a
face.
sweat artist.
Yeah,
It's funny
dude.
that bugs you. I never
No,
thought
it didn't.
about that.
It didn't bug me. It's definitely
You
noticed
noticed
it
it.
though.
You
I was
noticed
like,
it.
whoa.
I
they
watched
are
that movie probably
freaking sweating like
5 years
crazy.
ago with my wife, and she brought up two things:
Yeah.
the sweating,
They're so
and then the
sweaty.
very weird scene with, the intimate scene with him and I don't remember her name.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'm right. I didn't watch that. I just fast forwarded it. But
okay.
But I do know that like they're also like in whitey tighties, multiple scenes like walking around in whitey
Yeah.
tighties like in the locker room like talking to each
Yeah.
other.
I never noticed that.
I just think that's funny. Like some of these, again, that's a stylistic thing. There's no 0% chance a serious movie like this is a serious movie. It's not a comedy. Serious movie in 2025 has a scene where like there's like 8 guys in whitey tidies like talking.
Because like boxers and stuff weren't a thing back then.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, that's very true.
So
it's
not
just funny.
to get off track, but I'm glad you gave us that was a review within a review.
Oh yeah.
But you did say
But
that
it's a good movie,
that did help you in this one,
especially the fact that Goose dies.
Yeah.
Like, that's like obviously that's a major thing, right? Like his best friend dies in a training accident, right? Not in combat, like a training accident.
Yeah.
Like like seeing that happen and seeing that relationship and seeing him like work with the kid, right?
Yeah.
They sing songs with his son, Goose's son,
Shapes
who is
his
Rooster, right?
shapes his
Obviously in the new
character.
one, and like that whole thing where how he he doesn't want him to fly because he doesn't want him to die like his dad did. He felt responsible. His mom
He made
asked
a
him.
promise.
Yes. Yeah. So
Which also, when I was thinking about that, like Maverick's a stand-up guy because he's like he's already resents me. Why I resent his mom? Because in your head you're just like, just tell him.
Tell him the
like,
truth.
Your mom
yeah.
told me.
It's like, no, I'm not gonna tarnish his memory of her. Mhm.
I had another observation in this movie. So again, back to the opening scene, Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm glad they brought that back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna propose a question to you
Yeah.
guys. Better movie all time hype song, Highway to the Danger Zone or Eye of the Tiger? You can only choose one. One's got to live forever.
Danger Zone.
Dave, Eye of the Tiger.
I mean,
Danger
I haven't
Zone.
seen Rocky.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger
bad
is.
I'm just saying the song. I'm just
I
saying
don't
the
know.
song.
I like Eye of the Tiger.
I don't.
I like Eye of the Tiger.
You're Eye of the Tiger guy.
Mhm.
I'm
I
not
do.
right.
Give me, dude. Give
I'm
me.
I'm a Highway to the Danger Zone guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, give
That's
it to
fair.
me
No,
all day,
it's
every day.
good in the context of the movie. It's really good.
yeah.
The opening scene. So this movie, I'm going to spoil my rating. I gave it an 8. I really enjoyed Top Gun.
Of
Maverick.
course you did. It's Hayner's
I
movie.
really enjoyed this movie.
But an 8 though, man. I feel like that's soft.
Yes.
I feel
Hey,
like
do you
that's
have
soft.
your list? Do you have your list?
So at the end, I'm going to go over every single one.
but also, you need to put your 8.0.
8.0. 8. Yes. So, the whole thing was just it was fun. It was a fun movie. Like, you can dissect it a little bit here and there, but like, I thought it was a good movie.
Don't dissect it.
Again, yeah.
It's perfect.
Like, for example, him going Mach 10 or whatever at the beginning
Yeah. Awesome.
and destroying the aircraft.
yeah.
That's like, I don't understand. We're like, yeah, you did it. That cost like billions, probably millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And he just destroyed it because he wanted to go a little fast.
Yeah.
Like that's not like, oh well, we're gonna ship you off to Top Gun. We're like, no, you're gone. You're done forever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
this is millions of dollars.
You're right. You are like dissecting the nitty gritty.
Don't do
of
it. Don't do it, Dave.
Nitty gritty. This is like they built this ship, this plane that can go Mach 10, and he destroyed it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Well,
but
there's
he was in
more
the
of 'em.
process of already defying orders. So
They
what
have
the
to
hell,
show you.
right?
They're painting the picture of. They're
Yeah.
painting the character picture.
And he's a Maverick. I mean,
if-
it's on the nose, but
If I'm going down
works.
with you on this path,
Right on the nose.
if I'm going down with you on this path, it did flicker in my mind where I'm like, if this thing disintegrated at Mach 10, wouldn't he just be confetti?
I say, how
Yeah.
do you
Popping
eject?
out
Can
of
you
that.
eject at Mach 10? Yeah.
Is he confetti coming out of that?
I
But I will not
how
go
the
down
kid's
with.
like where he's like, where
Yes.
am I? The kid's like, Earth.
Yeah.
That is great. That's a great.
Yes.
That is great.
But I will
yes.
not go down with you on that path.
Yeah.
So I will not
Yeah.
ask that question.
But again,
I
like,
refuse.
but
No, I
but
won't.
it's one of the things that's crossed my mind. But I in the grand scheme of this movie, like, who cares? It does not make the
right.
movie worse.
Yeah, you should not care about
It
it.
does not make the movie worse at all. But it's just something that like I'm watching the movie, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's
You,
fine.
you know what I want to try because of this movie is a dogfight football.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that same. I'm glad they
Offense
explained
versus
that. I'm like,
offense,
what
dude.
is this?
I would love to like get 20 guys together and be like, hey, let's try this
Yeah.
thing out.
Mhm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
When the first time I watched it and they said it, I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm like, why would? And then like the second, third, the fourth, as I'm watching, I'm like, that actually might be kind of fun, man, because you're
For
like
sure.
you're multitasking,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
You're literally a
Yeah.
corner and a receiver at the same time.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But that's a throwback to the beach volleyball scene in the
Yes.
original, which is
Yeah.
again super corny,
How
super
many
80s.
Hey, how many let's call out all the callbacks. All right, so that's
Yeah,
one.
if I can remember. I mean, the Danger Zone, same exact song.
Yep.
Right? They obviously played that again.
Playing the piano.
They,
Don't look at your notes, bro. Let's just try to go off the
I don't
dome.
have
they,
that in
they
my notes.
played he flew that plane. Remember they commandeered that, they like stole that plane That was an old plane. Wasn't that the same plane?
Yeah.
There's a plane, the model he flew back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one?
I thought it
was
was
an F-14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was an old.
They
Okay.
flew F-14,
Okay.
the original.
I didn't catch that one.
Him on the motorcycle flying next to the plane.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
at the
and
end-
the original motorcycle. So I mean, that one they were like, "Hey, we're right on. We're just gonna tell you right
exactly.
now." we're
Yeah,
doing
not even exactly. Again, on the nose.
Yes.
Another on the nose one is after they complete the mission. This time it's Rooster and Hangman get the little high five and
the
like
high
hug.
five at the end. Everybody's
yeah,
surrounding him.
for sure.
You can be my wingman.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I wanted to bring up how sick was his like bachelor pad airplane hangar thing that he was living in.
At the very, very beginning.
I was so envious of that, man, because like in an alternate universe,
Yeah.
if I'm not a married man
yeah.
and I don't have kids, I want to live in that.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
That would
It was
be
just
dope.
like an abandoned aircraft hangar. He had a P-51 Mustang in there. He had like an Airstream, like that he lived on inside of there. Just a gang of motorcycles, and he's just in there. He's got tools. He's turning wrenches. It's got like old leather couches around there. Like how dope?
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Didn't they get caught in the jet stream? Didn't Phoenix and Bob get caught in the jet stream when they crashed?
No,
What happened with them
it was
when they
birds.
crashed? It was birds.
They hit birds.
Okay.
They took out their engine.
Yeah.
And then they had to go back.
Okay, because I thought they
Bird strike.
somebody got hit in the jet stream. Somebody got
Bird
caught.
strike.
Got hit with like a
I'm
jet
thinking of
stream.
during training.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bird strike.
Okay, I thought they did that too because that's what got Goose was that they got caught up in the jet stream of Iceman.
Yeah, they washed.
They jet washed.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
yeah.
They got
Jet
washed,
washed and they flat spinned.
which is I don't know what the physics of that or why that happens, but
Yeah.
I thought that they called that back. Maybe
It's
not.
also fun watching like Top Gun or this movie with my dad because he's like, "Oh yeah, so this is what like he starts
he
explaining
knows.
to you all
Yeah.
this stuff."
Yeah.
It did fascinate me. Like I looked up like what other movies are about fighter pilots because like that was fascinating to me. Like that was very interesting. The dogfighting and the
Dude,
and the
It always plays. I was watching it with my 1-year-old, and then like a couple of the kids came in,
yeah.
and they're just like, "Watch, like what's going on?" I'm like, dude, these planes are fighting each other, and
Yeah.
there's like jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. I really liked also there was no politics. There was none.
Yes.
It was completely apolitical, right? It was a foreign adversary, no names, right? There's not
Yeah.
talking about the president. There's no talking about any wars or anything
Here's
like that.
a mission.
Here's a mission. Indescript target, just an enemy. You know what I mean? And like, I love how they planned it out. They had the Tomahawk missiles, like that whole like strategic like plan they made is just awesome
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
It
And
had
it
to be-
made sense. It wasn't like,
All
oh,
made
that's
sense.
not possible.
it made sense enough
Yeah.
for this movie again, right?
you to
Like
follow it.
and then it was just great. I loved it. I loved how they had to get in there. There's the only way they could do it. They had to blow up the runway first, but they couldn't blow up all the planes. The planes are still going to be out. The ones that are in the air, this is how they contend with.
Right.
Like all these things. So like it was made it almost
Dude,
impossible. mission.
I think my favorite scene is when he gets Scott Ham's character kicks him out of the Navy, like he grounds him forever, and then he steals a plane and runs
right.
as he's telling. He's
right.
basically Scott Ham saying like, "Look, this is a kamikaze mission, and it's always been a kamikaze mission, and Maverick's insane for trying to make it not."
Yes.
So, and all these guys are like, dude, we're sitting ducks. We're not coming back from this. And then he runs the course, lasers it. I was like,
by
dude,
himself,
that's
yeah.
Best.
gangster. I thought,
Yeah.
That's got to
That
be
was-
the best scene in the movie.
yeah, that was my favorite scene.
That was
for
good.
sure.
That was
Yeah.
good. And he does it without the laser, right? Because the
Yeah,
plan
he's
was
G'ing out. He's G'ing out, and he's still guiding the missile,
I mean, yeah, best of the best.
dude.
Yeah.
The other thing that a lot of the reviews and everything I watched, like not to get political about it, but they talked about people were really worried when this movie came out. They're like, oh, it's just going to be like modern day Hollywood. It's going to like ruin it, but did not ruin.
Nope.
Like it was the
Nope.
same.
It was
This is a
great.
very ultra competitive environment of
Yes.
the best of the
Yes.
best.
Yes.
We're not going to bog you down with modern day ideals
Mhm.
that get lost in translation. The audience is like, no, we're going to give the audience like
Mhm.
this. I would say that in general, the movie across the board is authenticity,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Authenticity of you're with these. I'm not a Navy pilot, but I can imagine like that's what they're like,
Mhm.
right? These
Yeah.
are the types of people there. This is the type of stuff that they're working on. This is like there is a lot of tension. There's a lot of competition going on.
I also loved how like nothing was CGI'd.
Yes.
I was at one point I got lost in figuring out how are they shooting these guys, like filming,
Yeah.
because he's flying the plane. Any of the pilots, they're flying, and you can see like they're doing the like when you're like strangling yourself to force blood to your head for the G's, and they're actually doing it. But I'm like, well, they're not gonna let these guys fly the plane. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's got to be they have to be in the back seat just pretending to fly.
Yeah.
And then they look forward and the guys got the same helmet on.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think back, was there, other than when they're just like cruising, like, you know, flying and talking to after a practice round, where you see both the pilots in the same plane?
Yeah.
When they were doing the maneuvers and stuff, I'm pretty sure it was you only ever saw one guy. You only saw the front seat. You didn't see the back
Probably.
seat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and look because I was thinking, like, if that's the case, then I think, like, okay, that's probably how they did that.
But no, they put cameras in the cockpits, and they were even special. They were even special, like IMAX cameras or whatever, because it was filmed.
No, I know that.
for
I'm just
theaters.
trying to figure out how they got these actors to, like, essentially, they were flying the plane.
I'm sure you're right on that. How they did it or whatever. But they went.
But still, it's so gangster, dude, that they. Like, because they had to learn how to do that. Like, that's a technique on how to,
Yeah, they went through pilot training, and they even did like survival training and stuff like that for like if a pilot goes down on like how what you're supposed to. They went through all the stuff. Like they didn't cut corners.
They're basically Top Gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, because I remember that scene you're talking about where he goes and tilts the plane because like that guy says, "Well, all you've managed to do is explain how it's impossible this is." Right. He says that to Tom Cruise.
Yes.
He's like, oh, okay, well,
checkmate.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you how possible.
And then his girlfriend, his girlfriend is like, well, wouldn't you fight for him? You know.
Yes. The other callback that we forgot about, one of the most famous ones,
climbing out of her window in front of her teenager. It didn't help his image really. I don't think.
That's kind of funny.
No, you got to do that. No, another callback when he went over Rooster's plane.
Oh, yes.
Going inverted.
Yeah, he took that picture.
Yeah,
in the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, there's like a whole like T-shirts and all this stuff that talk about. I didn't see him. Oh yeah, because he was inverted.
I want to know what the real pilots, like when they're explaining, like, hey, so you guys are gonna be flying like this, and then we want Maverick to come up and shoot through them.
Yeah.
Like, are these guys like the Blue Angel dudes? Like, I would like to know if they're talking about it and these pilots are like, that's impossible.
I ran out of time.
Or if they're like, oh, we work on that. Like, we're good, bro.
I ran out of time, and I do love watching these videos, but there is a video. It's like 18 minutes or something where like a real naval pilot reviews the movie.
Yes, I love those. Those
movies. Are awesome.
Yes.
When any of those military dudes review the movies, because I'm always just like, yeah, dude, that tank probably could go over that ditch and shoot that or whatever. And then they got the guy that's like, no, we would never go through that.
It's like maybe it could possibly, but we definitely wouldn't.
There's
no way we would do that. Yeah.
I love that. One of the things I learned from watching those actually was like one of the Rambos, because I got on this stint where I watched every single Rambo.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it's like the third one or second one or something. He's in like Pakistan or something. But these two helicopters get into a helicopter like aerial fight, and I'm like, yeah, dude, they're flying around, they're trying to shoot each other.
That checks out.
And this lady on there who was a retired like Army helicopter pilot, she's like, no, two helicopters would never fight in the air ever. And I'm like, what?
They're not maneuverable.
I'm like, why not? I'm like, why wouldn't they? She's like, no, that would never happen. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. She's like 25-year, retired pilot.
But I also feel like if you're faced with that situation, you'd let it rip.
Yeah. But she's like, no, that's like never happened, and you would never do that as a pilot. I'm like, dang, okay, all right.
That's funny. And I didn't know it was gonna happen. Like, because going into that final battle, I was like, Tom Cruise could die here.
Yes.
That like they could absolutely in this movie in with a good way of him dying.
Right.
Like sacrificing himself. Like, so when he went down, like maybe he's dead. Like that's I was very much like that could be it. That could be into it.
Yeah.
I did think it was a little anticlimactic though for him to be actually dead. Like, because he got hit and went down. Usually when a main character dies in a movie, it's not like a throwaway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he died like an extra would die.
I was with
you. Know what I mean?
The first time I watched it,
main character.
I was waiting for him to die. Like that entire scene, I'm like, he's gonna die.
But then the helicopter swivels around, is like about to shoot him, and then Rooster comes in and like blows up the helicopter. And then Rooster goes down, and then I mean, it was good. It was good. I loved it, and I loved how like they were outclassed at the end.
Yeah.
Right, because they're in the F-14.
And
they were in
the guy like does that.
He does
thing?
like kind of crazy maneuvers. Like that's not possible with what we have.
Yeah.
So
I give it an 8.98. I love this movie too.
I give it a 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's your favorite movie ever?
10 out of 10.
It's got to be. I mean,
it wasn't on your list, was it?
I don't
Yeah, but
remember this.
recency
I can
bias.
remember
We've
this.
already established
Yeah,
recency
that's right.
bias.
Yeah, but no, I honestly truly believe the statement that is just the perfect movie.
It's a it's a great movie.
the perfect movie.
Again,
It's got everything.
Oh, I have a fun fact for you, Mr. Behind the Scenes. When they, I was listening to a podcast when they were, what's Rooster's real name?
So careful with that. One guy commented one time like, "Oh, a guy on a podcast talking about another podcast." Ooh.
I don't care.
I know.
I'm a human. I listen to other people's stuff.
Yeah.
I told him to go back in his mom's basement.
Yeah. What is Rooster's real name? In like
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
Oh, the act.
Yeah, he was talking and about how everyone was extremely up that like the when they were shooting the dogfight football scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody had like not ate for like a couple of days.
Yeah.
And they were like super dehydrated so they could just be like hella ripped.
Yeah.
They did the scene and they cut and everyone ran over to the buffet table, pounding
Scarfing.
water, eating food, whatever.
Yeah.
And they come back. I guess like movies are just a bear to be on. They come
Yeah.
back like so that now they're all chilling.
Yeah.
They come back a couple hours later like, hey, we just looked at the
Reshot,
edit.
yeah.
We need to reshot this and that. And they're like, they were already agitated because they had like were on the worst. And now they're pissed because they're going to look fatter.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
like,
it's funny.
in my head, I'm just like, that's hilarious.
I love those stories because it just shows you like, all right, that's not real.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you know, like
very
these
true.
people look incredible,
Very
but
true.
they don't look like
Yeah.
that every day. Like,
Yeah, they were like big, like bodybuilder stage competition ready status.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
everything's
For
ripped.
sure.
And
No
ready to
water
go.
in their body.
Yeah.
They did a great job making him look like Rooster. Making Rooster look like Goose.
Yes.
Like when he walked in, I was like, "What?" Like he looks like a
See?
spitting
I
image.
want to know how many people
Wow.
they tried to cast, or if like whoever the director was like, I need him to be Rooster because I don't see it any other way.
So another fun fact for you, Mister Behind the Scenes.
I'm not behind the scenes. You're behind the scenes.
No, so the guy who played Hangman,
Yeah.
he would originally.
I like that guy as an actor in several
Oh
things
yeah,
too.
he's awesome. Glenn Powell.
He's a little cutie.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave? Cute? No.
He's a good looking guy.
Okay.
No doubt.
Cutie
There
though.
we go.
Cutie?
Yeah.
Is he a cutie patootie?
No, he is a good-looking guy. But he initially auditioned for the role of Rooster, right? And
Okay.
that's like in the hierarchy that that's one of the main
Right.
characters
I
or
want to
whatever.
be that guy.
Right, and so he went in for it, and he was kind of told
He went in
was-
for Maverick.
yeah, I will be Maverick. And was kind of like led to believe that was going to be the role for him or whatever. Well, then he ended up not getting it. Miles Teller got it, and he's like, "All right, well, I guess I'm done with this show or whatever." And
Yeah.
so but they called him back in, like Tom Cruise and the producer, because he was ready to walk away from it. And they're like, "No, dude, like we want you to still be in the movie. We want you to be in this role. It's a lesser role." But they were like, the boat rises with all tides. Like this movie will do things for your career, even if you're a side character.
What
or
did
whatever.
it do for it?
For him?
Yeah.
Oh, like he had a major year. Like when that like kind of, I don't know if it propelled, but he had like a year or two run where he was in like some bangers.
Like
And
what? I'm trying to think.
He was in that, and then he was in the what's it called? The like romantic comedy one. He was in Twisters. The new
Twister.
Twisters.
Yeah. Twisters.
There's probably some
Yeah,
more
he
I'm not
was-
thinking
yeah.
about. He was also in another. He was in another pilot movie about the Korean War.
And then his agent's like,
This was
hey,
really
be
good.
careful, you're gonna start typecasting yourself.
Yeah.
Well,